So welcome everyone for the class. So let us just start do the revision part from the module 5. Okay. So we had done the revision of module 1 and 2 during the time of our first internals. So remaining third, fourth and fifth is left out. So today we'll start up with the last module revision. Okay, so I just want to share the question paper for the last module for you. Just a second. Is the screen visible to you people? Tarun?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah. So you can see the last module, which was related to our temperature and the strain measurements. So in this paper, in the last year's previous paper, you can see like the questions you have subsections 3. Sometimes they might ask 2, yeah 3. So last time they have asked 3 subsections. So first one asks like states the laws governing the function of thermocouples. So we studied the laws related to the thermocouples. So it is you have to first see for what marks it's been given exactly. So you have to answer it accordingly. So wherever the sketch is needed, you please do draw the sketch even though if it is not asked. It depends upon the marks which has been asked finally, and then explain with a neat sketch the working of an proving ring. So even this we have done it. So you have to draw the sketch and you have to show what is proving ring exactly for which it is being used. So all those you need to explain, and the last subsection is for 8 marks. So wherever the sketch has been asked, it will be shooted out for the marks of around 6 or 8 basically. So 9C is again asking you to explain the working of optical pyrometer. So you need to draw the diagram of optical pyrometer, explain its working principles. It's better if you just list out its advantages and disadvantages also. It has not been asked to be on the safer side, and first of all you need to manage the time for all the answers. Since it is more of the theoretical part, you should see that you will manage writing all 5 full questions. And again you have a huge classification of dynamometers which has been asked just for 4 marks. So you can just list out the classifications of our dynamometer. And next, they have asked you the explaining of an Prony brake dynamometer. So you need to draw the sketch of Prony brake dynamometer, list out how it has been constructed, the working principle of it, any limitations associated with it. Similarly, they have asked for explaining the working of McLeod gauge. So again, this is for 8 marks. You need here they haven't asked you the sketch, but still you have to draw the sketch as it has been asked for 8 marks. So only I told you please draw the sketches whenever it has been not asked also, provided if it is for 6 or 8 marks. And for your information, this is the pattern how you get, and I have one more paper which is of 2019. Yeah, even in 2019, it's of not your subject code, but still the syllabus is same. I'm just showing you. See now, here also they have asked you to draw and explain the working of Prony brake dynamometer, but it is for 10 marks. They have added the limitation part also. So means you need to entirely explain the working, construction, the sketch with its advantage and limitations also. And here again, with a neat sketch, explain the same thing. McLeod gauge, it is for 10 marks. Even here, if it is not asked also, kindly write down, list out if any limitations and advantages are there, the working principle associated with it. Okay, so then next is related to the strain gauge, what they have told. It is again for 10 marks. So you have to define strain gauge with a neat sketch, explain the Wheatstone bridge circuit. So you have studied well n number of times as well as in practicals and in theoretical part about the Wheatstone bridge circuit. So please draw the circuit, explain how it works, when you balance, when it is unbalanced, how you determine and define the strain gauge. So you have 2 marks for strain gauge and remaining 8 marks is for the Wheatstone bridge circuit. So similarly, they have asked you to define thermocouple. So you have to tell what is the a concept related to thermocouple, what is the principle behind it, and state the laws of thermocouple. What you have, we have two laws of thermocouple, what we have to explain. And lastly, write a note on thermocouple materials. So we studied about n number of materials which has been associated, the thermocouple material elements, so that you have to explain. And again, see, totally it is for 6 plus 4 10 marks. Totally they have given in sub classification of 6 and 4 each. So you have to again explain which are the materials associated with thermocouple, how do you select the materials, what are the basic principles you have to think about while selecting the thermocouple materials, all those things you have to list out. Finally, here it comes around for advantages and disadvantages of thermocouple. So you have to list out based on the marks given. It is for 4 marks, so you can see that it is classified into 2 each for thermocouple as well as advantages and disadvantages of it. So this is about our 5th module. So I have just shown you the pattern of the questions right away. And next, now what I want to tell you is I'm not giving you the assignment for module 5, as many people suggested it's enough. We have done already around 5 assignments, and even some students suggested for the quiz pattern, so that will be a matter for 5 and 10 minutes, so that I will give it. But now related to the 5th module, you have to now everyone just speak about what you have understood about the module 5 one by one. Okay, so that is basically, I'm not asking you the questions for the assignment, it just figure out about what you have understood. So starting from Mr. Tarun, yeah, here. Hello.
Just a second.
Yeah, Tarun, you please select a particular topic for yourself, just a matter of 5 minutes, what you have understood about the module 5. Instead of assignment, I'm just brushing out in this way. Shall I give the topic or you will start? हेलो, लिंक अभी तक आया नहीं बेटा, आई विल शेयर. ओके, 2 मिनट रुको. हाँ,
Uh, uh, should I tell the topics basically like?
Yeah, on what topic you're describing, or if you want to brush out like what all you have studied related to the module 5 also, it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, you have the
No,
syllabus with you, or should I share the screen?
no, ma'am. I'll start up.
Yeah, please start.
So, first of all, we dealt with weight measurement systems, ma'am,
Yes,
in which we had some scales and balances,
right,
including equal arm, unequal arm,
right,
pendulum scales.
right.
Then we had elastic force meter using spring scales.
Mm-hmm.
Then we had load cells, different types of load cells, pneumatic, hydraulic, and strain gauge load cells.
Yes.
We dealt each of them. We derived equations and saw the working principles of each of them.
Mm.
Then what we did was we went into concepts related to Wheatstone bridge, the
Yes.
working of Wheatstone bridge, and uses in the load cell and all.
Okay.
Then we had a concept related to proving ring,
Mm-hmm.
in which we used it to use it for accurate measurements, ma'am. Then
Yes.
we had equations related to it. We dealt with LVDTs,
Yes.
LVDT linear variable differential transducers.
Mm.
Dealt with the torque measurements, ma'am.
Right.
Torque.
Af-
Then
After that.
then we had dynamometers.
Mm.
Uh, there were various types of dynamometers: Tony brake, absorption, rope brake, rope brake, hydraulic type of dynamometer.
Yes.
Then we had basically it was three types, and these are the subheadings, I guess, as what I remember.
Okay.
The three basics were absorption and driving and the transmission dynamometers.
Okay.
Then we dealt with the each of them, like prony brake, the figure and the advantage, disadvantages, and how the measurement is taken. Then then we dealt with static and dynamic pressures, ma'am, and also the
Wait,
pressure
wait,
sensing elements. Yes,
Tarun.
ma'am.
We have two parts here in module 5. So now you
Yes, ma'am.
just briefed out related to what we studied on applied mechanical measurements, right? So now what did you understand overall related to this applied mechanical measurement? So we have studied about how to measure force, torque, pressure using dynamometers. Also we dealt about the classifications of it, and also power measuring instruments, and also various type of gauges, right? So what did you understand basically overall, why mechanical measurements is very much essential in our day-to-day life or in any company or an organization who's working on it?
Measurement is the basic starting step of any process that we are going to continue. Like if we are manufacturing something, that
Mm-hmm.
basically depends on the quantification of various products that are being used to develop a product.
Right.
Suppose if we are in an automobile manufacturing unit,
Mm-hmm.
so there were a lot of equipments are being installed inside a automobile, and so you have
Right.
to make sure that all the components lie within a certain range of weight, so as to develop out maximum efficiency out of the vehicle.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So in that way, we are using various products for measurements of different applications, like strain we are measuring for the material that we are manufacturing for chassis. Then
Yes.
then we then we make use of weight measuring instrument to calculate the curb weight of the vehicle.
Right.
Uh, Also, we can use pressure measuring instruments so as to make sure that how the vehicle will respond in different conditions of pressure. And that's all. That's all.
Yeah, fine. So you just brushed out with the one section. So let me ask the next student to explain the next half of the module 5, and later I will ask you the questions. Yeah, Mr.
Okay.
Yeah. So stay back. You have the marks for this one. Instead of assignments, we are brushing out with respect to answering. So next, Mr. Vivek, you're here. Vivek.
Ma'am,
Yeah, please. So you now carry out with the remaining part, the subsection related to measurement of strain and temperature. You first tell me the importance of strain and temperature, why it is essential to be measured, and after explaining some concepts, then you brush out what all you studied in that subsection. Okay.
ma'am, I just joined my this thing.
Yeah, you if you need anything, I can just share the screen of the syllabus for you right away. Just a second. Are you able to see? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so now you can see the module 5, which is of two parts, applied mechanical measurements and measurement of strain temperature. So your friend have explained me the what we studied basically in the first half related to applied mechanical measurements, where we dealt about the measurement of force, torque, pressure, and rest stuffs. So now the rest part of it is related to measurement of strain and temperature. So now you should tell me the importance of strain and temperature, why it has to be measured, what is the need, and then you justly brief out what all you have studied. Okay?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
Just a minute.
yeah. Abhishek is there, right? Hello? Abhishek GL.
மீட்டிங் ஷெட்யூல் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க. ஆமா இப்பதான் வந்திருக்கீங்க. அவனுக்கு எல்லாம் சொல்லி கொடுத்துருக்கேன். மைக்ரோசாஃப்ட் டீம்ஸ்ல லாகின் பண்ணி மீட்டிங் டீம்ஸும் மீட்டிங் ஷெட்யூல் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க. couple of days
Hello, Alap. Smaran, you're here? Hello. Vivek, you're ready?
Ma'am, give me some time, ma'am. I'll just brush up the thing and I'll just.
Yeah, yeah. Smaran, hello.
Ma'am, what happens to all the assignments we wrote already?
Yeah, Alap, all assignments what you have wrote already are assigned with the marks, right? It will be converted and it will be given. The thing is, the fifth module, I haven't given you the questions, right? Because we have already done with the 5 assignments. In third module, we had 2 subsections, 3.1 and 3.2 related to the screw thread and the gear measurements, which covers already like 5 assignments what we have given. So you have the marks and I have graded the marks also. If you just have a look of marks assigned in our Google Classroom, only related to module 5 we are just answering it generally because it will be more than 5 assignments. Some students told it will be better if you go on with the quiz and other part of it. So accordingly we are going on.
So, ma'am, quiz will be held, no?
Yeah, quiz will be held for the 10 minutes. I will share that in the Google Classroom. Ritik, you now just speak about what you have
Ma'am,
understood. Yeah,
like other subjects are all giving just 2 assignments each and they have finalized the marks. Like, why are we getting so many assignments in this?
to us, see, we were just brushing out related to every module. So it's better always to assign the questions for all the modules. It is not like based on 2 we will finalize. It is not related to the marks. It is related to how much you have understood and what you have studied. So it's always better to answer the questions with respect to every module. You have done it already. So fifth module, I am not giving you any questions, just a matter of quiz and general discussion. It improves your way of understanding. Once you write, it helps you in understanding. Writing once is equal to 10 times reading, so you won't lose anything in this, you gain only. And you will be having some part of kind of notes also related to what you have studied, related to the all modules, and it will be helpful in one or the other way for your examinations. Also, it is not a loss to you basically, so don't worry in that aspect.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah. So Alap, just a general question related to the subject what you have studied. Can you just brief me out what you have understood through this subject, measurement and metrology? In general, I'm not asking you anything to dig out from the textbook and answer me.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
So, so basically, uh, it's the science of measuring,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, we learned about various equipments that are being used in the industry to measure dimensions of uh, many things.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and we learned their constructions and features
Mm-hmm.
and their applications. Uh, and we learned about older mechanisms also that were used instead of the new ones for measuring.
What
And we
what
learned
do you,
about it.
just a second, what do you mean by older and newer version?
I'm like some equipments that we used were outdated, and now we are not using those anymore. Like,
Mm-hmm.
yes, ma'am.
Okay, next.
So, and we learned about transducers. We learned about, yes, ma'am.
Which type of, how many devices you learnt about? Which is a mixture of electrical, electronics with the mechanical, which turns up into the end product in the form of devices which are very much needed in today's world.
Uh, Ma'am, the ballast circuits are used right now in the industries, ma'am, and even the stabilizing circuits that are being used for various applications.
Okay, like basically when you go out as an engineer to any company, how well this subject will help you out? In what way it might help you out?
Ma'am, this is like the basic necessity for any engineer to be able to measure quantities and be able to tell with accuracy and precision the values associated. So if this is like a prerequisite for the engineering. So if you don't know this, then you can't proceed with making other products. So,
Right, I do agree. So it is a basic thing what one as a mechanical engineer should understand how well to measure, how to give the tolerance, how to design the shaft, many things, right from the normal measurement to the sophisticated type of measurements, like how to classify the parts, how to assemble it for in each and every stage, whether it is a small product or a larger product. Measurements plays a vital role to see that all parts are manufactured as per the specifications, dimensions with the range of tolerance, so that it could be on the whole uh, manufactured into a single product. So every product might be having 10 parts, yeah, 100, yeah, 50, yeah, 10 or 15, yeah, 20, whatever, based on the type of product you are manufacturing. So each and every component what you have to manufacture based on the design, this subject measurement and metrology plays an vital role. Some products you might be using at the normal temperature, some you might be using at the high temperatures, some instruments you might be using when you apply the load, what are the effects you are getting. So you should know to measure each and every physical quantity. So we have studied about how to determine n number of measurements, normal linear measurements, angular measurements, and again coming for the measurements of force, pressure, torque, strain, temperature. So all the characteristics a product comes into picture when it has to be used. So you should be having some measuring device to measure those quantities. If you don't have the measuring devices at all to measure these quantities, it will be the operator will not be knowing how accurate it is. And to know the actual value, you should always be thorough with how to do the calibration part, which is a vital role in each and every instrument. Every instrument what you use to measure has to be calibrated, so it also plays a vital role. So all these things are the general aspect as one should know related to the subject mechanical measurements and metrology. Okay, so this is about. Fine, Alap, you answered well. And next, Mr. Abhishek,
Ma'am, I'm ready with the this thing.
Vivek, yeah. Can you please start? What was the topic assigned to you? The second part of module 5, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the measurement of strain and the temperature.
Yes, please. Can you just
Yeah,
go?
in the first part of second part of module 5, we'll be learning about the measurement of strain, ma'am.
Yes,
It's basically when a system of force or loads act on a body, it undergoes a deformation. This
right.
deformation unit length is known as unit strain or simply strain.
Mm-hmm.
If a net change in dimension is required, then the term total strain will be used.
Right.
Strain applied to most engineering materials are very small. They're expressed in micro strain.
Mm-hmm.
The average strain will be the point strain at the middle of the strain gauge. And strain measurements are classified into three, ma'am.
Right.
Since the change in length over a small gauge is very small, high magnification system is required, hence they're based on the three. First is
Yes.
mechanical strain, optical
Yes.
strain gauges, electric strain gauges.
Yes.
In mechanical strain gauges, this type of strain gauges involves mechanical means for magnification.
Mm-hmm.
Extensometer consists of compound levers having high
Mm.
magnification was used. This
Right.
displacement is used to calculate strain value, most commonly used as mechanical strain are very type and Hugenberger type.
Mm.
And in mechanical strain gauge, the very extensive meter experiment we do, ma'am.
Mm.
In that, there are some disadvantages, advantages.
What are they?
It has advantages are it has self-contained magnification system. No auxiliary equipment is needed as in the case of electric strain gauges. Disadvantages only limited only to static tests. The high inertia of gauge makes it unstable for dynamic measurements and varying strains.
Right.
Uh, and there's optical strain gauges. It's
Mm.
most commonly used optical strain gauge was developed by Tuckerman. It
Mm-hmm.
combines both mechanical and optical systems such as extensometer to measure deformation of materials and autocalorimeter.
Right.
Uh, and the normal length of gauge is distance between knife edge and to the point of contact of lozenges.
Mm-hmm.
Lozenges act like the distance between fixed knife and lozenge changes due to loading, and this is
Okay.
one of the Turkmen optical extensometer is used for this optical strain gauge type of measurement. There are also advantages and disadvantages for this. The
Okay.
advantages are the position of autocalorimeter need to be fixed relative to the extensometer. Reading can be taken by holding the autocalorimeter in hand. The
Mm-hmm.
disadvantage is limited only for static measurements and cannot be used where large strain gradients are encountered. And there's electric strain gauges, which we did in our lab map.
Yes.
That's the piezoelectric gauges.
Yes.
And in electric strain gauges, strain produces change in some electric characteristics. The electric
Mm.
output can be magnified by using some electronic equipment, and the
Right.
electric methods of strain measuring are highly sensitive and possess ability to respond dynamic strains.
Yes.
Electric uh, that's what, ma'am. For there are two types of this one. In electric resistance, it is widely used for strain measurement.
Mm.
Um, one is unbounded type strain gauges and bounded type strain gauges. One is
Yes.
Y type and type, and the other the semiconductor or piezoelectric strain gauges. And unbounded strain gauges, the electric resist element grid is unsupported. In bounded, it compares of resistance metal which is bounded close to the surface of strain has to be measured. And
Yes.
should I go to the next?
No,
This
next I will ask someone else. Thank you. Uh, yeah, Mr. Ritik, you're there?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, you just go ahead with the temperature measurement part. You just tell me why the temperature measurement is very much essential and just throw some light on thermocouple. You can refer and also explain, not a problem. Before that, you first tell me in general, what did you understand related to temperature measurement?
Temperature measurement.
How do you define what do you mean by temperature? Why temperature has to be measured? In general, just think about, you can speak in general.
Temperature is an important factor which
Mm,
affects many processes.
yes.
So it is essential to measure the temperature using different processes. We learn
Mm,
like using thermocouple
right.
or relative temperature detector.
Mm.
So
So, which are the measuring instruments used in order to measure the changes in the electromotive force, EMF? Why, when you use a thermoresistor, when you use a thermistor, when you use an thermocouple?
thermorestor we use means the temperature varies with respect to the resistance of the element.
Right.
Okay, I'll future.
And thermistor we use it is also the same, means it is detects temperature according to the variation in the temperature only.
Resistance thermometer you use when the change in the resistance with temperature shift is very small and it is a positive
Yeah,
value. But whereas in thermistor, it is for a larger temperature shift which is relatively large and it could be negative also. So this is a major difference between an resistance thermometer and an thermistor.
thermistor.
Yeah, so now can you just brief out about thermocouple in general? What do you mean by thermocouple? Why it has been used?
Thermocouple. Actually, ma'am, thermocouple is used when two dissimilar metals are joined
Right,
to form a circuit.
right.
So, so in the junction, we measure the temperature.
Yes, how many junction do you have in a thermocouple?
How many junctions?
There'll be two junctions,
Two
right?
junctions, ma'am. Yeah.
Yeah, why each junction is essential? Where you measure the unknown temperature and what is the need of one more junction?
Actually, I didn't study in my fifth module.
Okay, no, it's in general. You have an experiment also on it where the demo, everything was been shown. You did your lab
Yes, ma'am.
internals, everything. Right. In general, you would have
Yes, ma'am.
told one is basically used where you have the standard known temperature. So the other junction in which you will measure the unknown temperature due to the change in the EMF which has been induced in the circuit due to change of two dissimilar metals what you are using in the thermocouple. Okay, so we had dealt about the laws of thermocouple also, law of intermediate metals. When you insert a third dissimilar metal into the junction, what happens? If you use a dissimilar metal, also what should be the state of condition such that the two junctions will not alter with the temperature. So the resultant EMF, what you achieve in the circuit will remain balanced. So all those things you have to study about. Okay,
Yes, please.
on the whole, why temperature measurement is very much essential, can you tell me?